Jungle. Audio 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 Jungle.
VR chat. It is tonight's entertainment. Alright. Hello everybody. Hello. Good evening. Hello everybody. My name is Markiplier. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait. I'm sorry. What's my name again? Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Hold on. Alright. Try this again. Alright. Hello everybody. Welcome. Top of the morning, Steel Laddie. My name is Jackson. Hold on a minute. That's not it? That's not my name? No. What do you mean it's not? What do you mean that's not my name? That's not it? Okay, hold on, one more time. Hello everybody! It's me, PewDiePie! Alright, one more, hold on. What? Wait. My name's what again? It's... Okay. Alright, we got it. Alright. One more. Okay. Alright. Hello everybody. Welcome. My name is the Stinga. I am a yellow jacket robot VTuber, and tonight, how are you all doing tonight? I am going to be doing my first ever evening stand-up comedy routine. Hello everybody. Welcome in. I'll just have to say a very quick and wonderful hello to everybody. Hello, Pentra, Dragon, Luxroy, Digi, Axel, and Justin on the YouTube side. Hello! Welcome in, everyone. How y'all doing tonight? Yeah, we got that classic music going tonight because tonight we are going to be doing something very, very different and very, very special. Tonight is actually going to be my first stand-up comedy routine, and it's going to be very experimental, so bear with me. I'll be doing a lot of talking and a lot of jokes are going to basically be running back and forth the entire night. And don't worry. The biggest joke is the one that's standing right up here on stage. That would be right here. But anyway, I wanted to let you all know, thank you so much for joining in tonight and also being here for this very special occasion. And it is just making me excited and ecstatic to do this tonight for all of you. Alright, hold up. I got some things I got switcheroo on here. Let's just that up. There we go. Cass Wilder, welcome in, my friend. Oh, thank you very much for the hybrid redeem, Digi. I appreciate you. Lee the Phoenix, what's up? How you doing? I have this up while you game. Thank you so much. And again, thank you so much everyone for joining in tonight. I am could not be more happy about what's going on tonight, so thank you so much for joining in. Alright, with the Grandpa Max outfit. You know, actually that's funny. I do kind of look at Grandpa Max, don't I? Well, anyway, I have no idea what this is acting up tonight. Oh well, anyway. Okay, so, tonight's subject basically is I was wanting to do something that's very, very near and dear to my heart. You know, so it's something that I have a personal connection to, you know? And it very much is, you know, streaming in all of its glory, you know? I'll tell you what, though, tonight, I failed my driver's test. Oh, no, Axel, I'm sorry to hear that. But here's the thing. Alright, so, it's funny. Do you want to know a really funny little story? So, here's the thing. If y'all want to know the funny thing about Stinga's inception, I'm going to give you the 411 on it, right? So when you're sitting down and you have this idea for a concept, right? You're always sitting around and you're like, man, what kind of concept, what kind of character do I want to make tonight for you know, who I am? Like, who defines, like, who am I? Like, what defines me? You know? What represents the best of who I am? Because you don't go into streaming like just willy-nilly, right? Because there's like a billion different ways that you could be streaming. And one of the many ways that I have found that I kind of like enjoy streaming, you know, is one of these things where when I originally started streaming, you guys don't know this, but I actually used to be a face cam streamer, like a long time ago. But when you make the decision, right, to become a VTuber, everybody's got like a different reason as to why they do it, right? Some of you want to play a character, some of us want to be, you know, keep our face hidden, kind of have that nice little mask because some of us are shy, and I get that. For me, it was very different. Okay, so for me, it was really different. So basically, I'm studying on what kind of streamer I want to be because I want to get into entertainment. I want to entertain people, make people laugh, and things like that. I'm like, what's the best way to do this? Well, it's funny because my whole thing is that one of the biggest reasons as to why I became a streamer, not because of some kind of shyness, not because of some ability, but because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come home from work one day, and I'm not gonna look very kept, and I'm gonna be way too lazy for a shower. And I do not want to be sitting on my stream here and just like, I don't know, just sit there and be like, you know what? I don't want to look ugly on stream, and I don't feel like showering every time I get on the camera. So you know what? I'm just gonna not do it. I'll be a VTuber. That way, there's no way anybody could see anywhere. I could look like the most biggest hobo in the world, and y'all would never know at all. No, there's no way. I basically could be so unkempt that I literally have stains on my face all over, and none of you would know. And the other advantage was, it's like, man, you know what? And that's where I pen for. I don't even gotta wear pants. VTubing is what I would like to call a pantsless endeavor. It's kind of like those times where you're like basically being it's like a remote worker, but the best part about it is that you get to actually talk and interact and be like active in what you're doing. So it's like, yeah. And I'll tell you what, there's actually been a couple times I have actually streamed with nothing on, shirtless, completely shirtless, and y'all didn't even know. No way, no how. There was no way you knew. PJs, check. Dress shirt, check. Completely and utterly commando, check. Done it all. That's the reason I went into streaming. That's the reason I want to do it, because I was like, I don't want to worry about looking presentable all day long. So you know what? I'm doing it. That's a little lazy decision, but whatever. Although it is funny. See, the funny thing about it was I decided to become a streamer, especially like one of one of these, actually at my in-laws' farm, right? And it's during Christmas. Oh, it wasn't Christmas. I think it was like Thanksgiving or whatever. Bro, I'm studying VTubers while sitting on the pot. You make all these jokes about like, oh man, it's so funny. He's a poopy sound and all this blah blah blah. Bro, my entire conception started on the pot. True story, by the way. True story. That is legitimately what I did. I was like on the pot. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. We're gonna get into streaming. But the question next is like, what kind of VTuber do I want to be? You know, because we all have the concept in our mind. Who represents me? Who do I look like? Who do I want to look like? And I'll tell you, like, there's a lot of ideas that you could come across. And there's some pretty fascinating VTuber designs and concepts out there. Like, I cannot kid you not, some of you are really creative. Like, super creative. Like, I really enjoy it. And I think you guys are really, really good, right? Super good at it. And then you go like, man, what do I want to be today? I want to be a hippo VTuber. I don't know, some performer. And then other times it's like, man, I want to represent myself by a pot. There's literally, by the way, this is true, by the way, a chicken nugget VTuber. They exist. Dead serious. Go check it out. There's a chicken nugget VTuber. Man, and they are successful. I mean, dead serious. You get all these pretty boys, you get all these cutesy girls, you get all these like attractive people and stuff like that, and all these really cool designs. Bro's making bank being a chicken nugget. Like, dude, I want some of that success. give me some of that success. I want to be the delicious chicken nugget VTuber making a ton of money. You know, never mind. You know what? I'm redebuting one day as a chicken tender. Okay, that's not surprising, but still. But it's one of those things that's kind of like, you know, you got all these ideas and concepts that's just like constant all over the place, and man, some of them are unique. And yeah, it's like this always a sort of effort because you know it's all competitive. We all work together, right? But it's really competitive. You want to stand out, you know. You want to stand out. So you do your best to like make your design pop, make it to something different, something unique, and you're like, man, oh man. And better yet, you start looking at all the other VTubers that are super successful and stuff like that, who like have like high view counts and all that fun stuff. You're like, man. You look at your artwork and you're just like, man, my design. Bro, you look lame. What are you doing? What am I doing here? This design's crazy. But you know, you figure out what you do, you get what you're happy with, and then you move on with it. And it's great. It's great, you know. It's funny. I didn't come up with the whole like Sting angle too quickly. I wanted to be a common writer VTuber for a while, but yeah, that idea kind of got dashed pretty early on, and I'll tell you why. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like, you know, it's you get into it, right? You get into this, you got your design work, you got your idea of what you want to stream and everything like that. Then it comes towards the execution phase, right? It's time to get this thing underway. I want to make myself look like successful. I want to look good and all that fun stuff. Let's get art design together and all that fun stuff. Then you find out, all right, now I want a really fancy looking model, right? I want to make myself look fancy. I want to look good. I want to look great. You go, and then you're like, how do I start? Well, you can go to Fiverr, you can go to VGen, you can go to Etsy, any of those places and get yourself a nice looking model stuff. I actually went there myself, and I can tell you stuff, as a 9-to-5 worker, like, I have a very minute amount of money for my hobbies and stuff like that, so I have to be very, like, you know, money conscious about my purchases, things like that. I can tell you that the first time I looked down and went to Fiverr and I was like looking at the model designs, and this one looked really great, and I'm like, I like that one. I want to be that one. Looks at the price and goes, bro, I ain't got $300. What are you kidding me? This is supposed to be a freaking hobby, not a life investment. What are you talking about? $300? I had no money, by the way. No money at the time. Like $0. Zero. So I was wanting to go cheap. I didn't want to go like crazy expensive or anything like that, right? No way. So I was just looking, I was like, bro, I don't got $300. I could buy a whole entire like stack of Big Macs with that kind of money. Get my big activity going. No, $300 for a model? Like, I didn't have that kind of money at the time. For those of you who save up and get it, by the way, good on you. Very good on you, by the way. Very smart people, but man, I was crying in poor man. I was crying as a broke. I was crying and broke. It was disgusting. Oh man, I basically sat there and I was sitting like staring at my PC for like an hour and a half, going like, man, now what do I do? I can't get into it too quickly. It is just ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Well, what's going on? It's crazy. So what I do is I'm like, okay, well, I'll find an alternative. I'll find an alternative. That's when I found out VRoid. And I tell you what, when you're devoted to something and you want to get into a reel, you become an expert like really fast. And I mean real fast. You know that you know how that joke on the Avengers, like when that girl asks Tony Stark, she's like, when did you become an expert on blah blah blah? And he goes, oh, last night. Bro, that was me. I was like, super quick. I figured out VRoid like lickety split. You know, if you want like a good model and you want it for free and stuff like that, you need to learn. You become an artist overnight. It's crazy. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you're literally desperate to get something started. Because, man. Welcome in, Fanny. But yeah, you're like desperate to get something started, and you're like, man, I became an artist overnight. So it was like, man, all right. So get yourself designed, get yourself all
drinking water.
Got myself all gussied up and stuff like that, and like, it was like one of those moments where you like look at your model and stuff like that. And I know, for all of you VTubers out there, I know you did this. And it's not even a bad thing, by the way. It's not even a bad thing. It's great to do because you see an accomplishment and stuff like that. But I guarantee you longingly stared into your OC's eyes for like 2 hours on creation. Like you get that first 2D model, that first live 3D model or whatever. You boot that program up like VC Face or VTube Studio or whatever. And what are you doing for the next hour and a half? Bro, you staring directly into their eyes like they are your first love. Oh my goodness. I did it too, but seriously, you're just sitting there going like, man, oh man, you look good. Look at you swing back and forth when I swing my head back and forth. Look at how it all works. It's just so silly. And you got basically people that you know really well, right? You got people you know and stuff. And they'll come over there and they'll I'm quiet? What do you mean I'm quiet? What do you mean I'm quiet? So basically, you know, you go in there, you get yourself like, you look at this show for hours. Like, I know we all did it. We all did it. You know, we all did it. And you just stare longingly into their eyes. That's you on the screen. You know, that's you. Now all you have to do is go pay for some more assets. Oh no, yeah. You think just the model's the part of it? Oh no. You gotta get yourself a logo, you gotta get yourself set up, you gotta get yourself like you don't wanna look cheap. You think I wanna look cheap? I ain't looking cheap. I'm gonna make everything look great. I'm gonna have like 10,000 different designs and 10,000 different parts and pieces to I'm gonna make my stream look elaborate. Hi princess, welcome in. I'm gonna make myself look super elaborate. I'm gonna look like the next big thing. And it works. Yeah, it works. Whether you did it yourself or whether you paid for it, either way, it works. And man, you got like all this stuff. You invested time, you invested money, you invested everything in together. And then it comes to the one point that gets every single VTuber when they're starting out. And I'm dead serious. I have went to so many forums, I've gone to so many places. It's like, how do I debut? How do I, how do I debut? Some people are like, oh, you need to get an audience. Some people are like, I don't do anything at all. I'll just do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and get yourself, you know, all set up, ready to go, right? And you're like, oh man, this is dumb. This is so dumb. Oh my goodness. Like, so you're like scrambling, right? You're scrambling. You're trying to figure it out. Like, oh man, I gotta set up my socials. I gotta set up my YouTube account. I gotta set up Twitch. I gotta set up this and this and this and this. And then suddenly you're opening your own business to becoming an entrepreneur overnight. And even better yet, you're suddenly becoming your own advertising. You're suddenly becoming your own prop man. Becoming your own like agent. Everything. Like you literally become your own agency overnight. And it's ridiculous. I never knew what advertising people were like until I had to advertise myself. Bro, that's hard. That's hard. Oh yeah, time to go up to a bunch of people and basically tell them, hi, my name's Stinga, how you doing? I exist here. Hi, how you doing? Hi everybody. I'm basically going into the middle of like a crowded room and basically at the top of my lungs, watch me! You got content? No! I don't got it! But I got good personality! No, literally, like entertaining is like the one job in the world where you're like, oh man, I got this credential, I got this credential, I got this credential. And they're like, well, you got a good personality? Maybe. Like seriously, streaming is personality is like almost everything. Everything is personality. Everything. You have to be like, stick there and be ready to make yourself funny or entertaining for several hours. So the great personality part is like everything. The one job where you could literally go in and be like, oh, I can't do this and this, but I got a great personality. Bro, you get your butt thrown onto the curb. Entertaining though, you better have one. It doesn't matter what kind of like sort of credentials you've had before. Is your personality good? Possibly. That's not good enough. Okay, fine. I'm going to basically yell at my agent. Goes home and yells at yourself in the mirror. Yep. Every time. But yeah, the debuting part is always the toughest part when it comes to any kind of like streaming thing, because you don't know what you're gonna do, because you don't know what kind of audience you're gonna have. And let's be fair here, the biggest thing starting out is when you think that there's a possibility no one's gonna be interested in what you're doing. So you don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I just assume that I'm gonna be this surprisingly amazing VTuber. You want to stay a little humble and, you know, steady your expectations just a bit. You know, you're gonna be great, but give it time. You know, you'll get there. Don't worry, you'll get there. Not today. Your debut is literally going to consist of 2 people, if not 1 person. Like, legitimately, 1 or 2 people. Literally, you and that one guy that came in by accident saying, "Whoops, I meant to click on Billy, and sorry about that." Bye-bye. That's heartbreaking, but it does happen. Bro, I thought I was signing up to watch Fillion or Gura or something like that. Not some cheap dude in a white face with red eyes. Whatever. So, you know, you figure out to debut, and yeah, some people will debut. They'll showcase who they are, what they want to be, you know. But I mean, starting out is not always that easy. You know, you get yourself like all situated. You got your stream, and you're ready for the go live button. You're all ready for the go live button, and you're like, this is gonna be great. I got a game picked out. Well, if you're doing a game, right? That's the bigger choice, right? Do you do the in thing that's going on right now, or do you do like, yeah, or do you do your own thing? See, for debuting though, I picked a retro game, which in hindsight, I should have just put the retro tag. I should have done that. I put Star Fox Assault. I put the retro tag, and better yet, it's all like, you figure this stuff out as you go, guys. You figure it out to do it better, and you get better at your craft. But starting out, man, you basically roll the dice, and you're basically like sitting there and be like, streaming time. Put your foot down on the step, and you like either miss a step or you're just basically tumbling down like all the way down. It's ridiculous. But the cool thing about it is like I already had a couple people that were ready to watch, which is fine. That was encouraging, and it was almost like man, okay, what am I gonna do? You know, what? How am I gonna start out? Like, how am I gonna show people like what's going on? What do I do? And I'll go like, man. So I go online and I ask, hey, how do you debut? And the overwhelming answer that I got was, just play a game, just start, just go, just do it. No intro, no nothing, just go. Hit the ground running. You'll get an audience later. Okay. I guess that's how I'm doing it. Now, I don't know how all the rest of you debuted, but that's how my experience went. It was a very, like, I had no idea what I was doing, so I was like, okay, I'm learning. I'll figure it out as I go. So, I figured it out. Well, that wasn't until something happened, right? So it was about 2 weeks out before my debut, and I'm basically setting up and getting ready and stuff, and then suddenly, disaster strikes. I get a throat cold. Throat cold. That thing hit me harder than a ton of bricks. I was basically experiencing Truck Chan coming in as a cold virus. Just whoosh, right upside my head. So it was about, like, in there just a little bit, and you know, you just, like, okay, you know, the whole thing as show must go on. Bro, I've got, like, 10 teeth gone, I'm on, like, 10,000 different, medications. I'm basically feeling like I'm about to explode on my insides, but the show must go on! And you fool them all. You fool them all into thinking you're just fine. And after the stream is over, help! No, you run off to your bed, basically crying like a little child. Meanwhile, the entire audience thinks you were just fine. Because you hit it so well. Sometimes I hide it, and other times I don't. I didn't hide it in my debut, though. Man, my voice was so raspy, it was ridiculous. I basically looked like I was on a Ford truck commercial. It was crazy. So, yeah, that was an experience. Yeah, and the VOD's still there, by the way. I did do it. I went ahead and I did it. I was sick, but I went ahead and did it anyway. I was ready to devote myself to the craft, and I did not care how it was going to turn out. No way. I was doing it. So, I gotta change something here real quick. I just noticed this. Hold up.
Drinking water! Okay. Is that better? Do I sound better now? I bet you I sound better now, don't I? I sound better now, don't I? Okay. Cool, good to know. Could y'all hear me before anyway? I don't know, it's like, guys, there's a problem. What's the problem? Stinga sounds really quiet. Why is that weird? That's kind of unusual. He's normally a loudmouth. Really? Are you serious? Yes, very serious. Further, okay, well, you know what? Whatever. First 30 minutes, I guess, they're just gonna stand there and just like be like, hey guys, Stinga's a little quiet. For once. Could still hear it. That's good. That's probably why I'm super loud. I'm just super loud like that. But, yeah, no. I've actually been in, like, a situation where, like, we could hear you, but you were in auditorium mode. Alright, fair. That's fair. I guess I was supposed to be in auditorium mode. Honestly, it sounded realistic. Okay, well, you know what? That's fine. It's whatever. I mean, that's one of the other things that you don't realize as a streamer that you're going to get. You always think, like, man, I need to go into streaming, I got to go flawless, you know? Like, if new series are starting out, like, you're always like, everything's got to be flawless. Like, I have to do this year. And the minute some kind of little bit of scuff happens, you're just like, oh no, what do I do? I got to change it. Then you start finding out everybody else experiences scuff. Even the big VTubers. And once you start seeing scuff, you're just kind of like, whatever. Bro, you literally have an entire stream where you're basically like you kind of sounded like you were from like another planet. And aren't you worried about that? People like that anyway. I don't care. You go from like, oh no, to whatever. Who cares? You get really relaxed about it, you know? Like super relaxed. It's really funny. But yeah, you're right. Your scuffs and VTubers do kind of go hand in hand and stuff like that, especially if it's like really bad. But now where was I? What part of my story was I looking at? But kind of need to stop losing track of time and like my own I don't know. My own thing here. Okay, well, so all right. Okay, you got yourself all. Got myself all set up with that. That's the grandness of debuting, right? And debuting, like the debuting part, that's easy. That stuff's easy. Okay, that stuff's easy. Okay, it's all easy. Like debuting, funnily enough, being able to actually press the start button is the easy part. Now, I ask you. Not every stream is going to be the same, but at the same time, when you're starting out, I am sorry, but most of us do not have an audience to talk to. We won't, and some of you who do, you are all lucky people, and for some reason, you rolled really well on the luck on regards to streaming. Like, super well. Now, then there's that skill that every entertainer learns, especially online entertainers. That one skill that everyone needs to learn. And it's called talking to air. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean when I say talking to air. It's that moment where you're like, man, no one's talking to my chat. Man, what's going on? Do I suck? No, probably not. It doesn't mean you're probably not the only stream that they have up either. But no, you gotta learn to talk to air. And yeah, you're gonna sound a little insane. That's right, Dragon. You're gonna sound a little insane. Because, like... Why is this thing not working tonight? But yeah, you're gonna sound a little insane for the most part. You know why you're gonna sound a little insane? Because yes, everyone sounds like they're talking to the voices in their head. You know? For me, it was just kind of this one thing where it was kind of like... I was like, wait, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do it? You know? And so you like talk to air, you're talking to yourself. You learn to talk to yourself and you learn to monologue. Now, what's even funnier is if you're not natural at it, at first it's like, it's kind of weird, it's kind of rough. So you say a weird couple things, kind of laugh to yourself during the stream and stuff like that, and people find it entertaining, which is fine. It gets worse when you're doing it in real life. You're doing it during your work. You're doing it while you're not around other people. You're doing it when you're just doing some mundane tasks and you're sitting there basically going like, man, I could really use a burger today. Man, I really like burgers. I feel like a burger would be really good. Let's go get a burger really quick. And you're driving in your vehicle and you're like, man, burgers just sound really good right now. I'm going to kind of get a burger. You know what? I'm going to get like a Gouda burger with pepper jack cheese. And I'm also going to get like blah, blah, blah. And then after that, you're basically in the restaurant and you're going up to the server and you're like, yeah, I'd like this and this and this and this. And you're like, man, that'd be really good though. I kind of like the burger. It'd be like really cool. And the lady, it's the server, is kind of like, sir, are you okay? She's going, please, ma'am, sir, we have a gentleman here that's suffering from schizophrenia, I think. Bro, he's talking to himself like every 5 minutes. It's kind of scary. Oh, and then you're walking down while you're at work, and you're at work doing that. Your coworkers are suddenly going, something about you's changed. Are you okay? I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's good. Man, I gotta get this report to my boss really quick here. It's gonna be really crazy. I gotta like run this report stuff like it's like, sir, why are you talking like that? Talking like what? Talking like what? Why do you sound like you're like? Why does it sound like you're talking to the voices in your head? There's voices in my head. There's always voices in my head. They're always telling me to do different things. I call them my chat. That's what you do. You suddenly call the voices in your head your chat. Like that's the craziest part. And I'm not gonna lie, it gets bad. Once you've streamed long enough, like I don't know if anybody's done this before. I know a couple of you have. I know from experience that one or two of you have this, but I had the pretty craziest thing last night, right? I had the craziest dream. I've streamed so much. You know how they always say, like, when you stream enough or you stream or like do something enough, you eat, sleep, and think it all the time? Well, unfortunately, in my case, I did sleep it. You know what happened? So the other night, it was the craziest thing. I'm basically like having this whole nice big dream, and it comes to the point where I'm suddenly feeling like I'm basically streaming, and I'm getting raided. I have never in my life forgotten who I am. On a stream. Okay, maybe once or twice, but that's besides the point. But man, that one night I did that, I'm like forgetting who I was. I don't remember if I was a yellow jacket or if I was my grandma's uncle. I was like trying to figure out the words. I was trying to say I'm the Stinga yellow jacket robot VTuber and couldn't think of it. Didn't come out. Not at all. Didn't come out at all. And it was like in my head. I literally woke up and I was like, man, I don't know what I'm feeling today. This is crazy. So yeah, no, it was ridiculous. So the longer you go, the harder, oh boy. Yeah. So I mean, like streaming, the thing about it is, streaming, you get to make some really good streaming habits, but real life habits, debatable. I don't know how well talking to air translates into actual dialogue with other people, but it happens, I guess. So yeah, so after you're getting like debut and stuff like that, and then you're talking to air, right? I want to tell you like one of those experiences I had, like kind of part of the streaming experience, you know. You get your stream done, tell goodbyes to everyone, and now you're having to like figure out like your next stream and stuff like that and scheduling. Man, it's one of those things where like the worst enemy of every streamer, of every VTuber, art bots. Art bots. Art bots, my friend. Art bots are the weirdest and dumbest thing that I ever encountered. And I'll tell you what. Normally for art bots. Now, apart from the good ones who are actually... See, now I'm going to differentiate here. There are good art bots, but those are usually the VTubers that are robots, okay? If there's a VTuber that is a robot and they are an art robot, those are the good ones, okay? Please do not ban them or remove them from your streams. They're the good ones. Commission them. Get them to do stuff for... I see you smiling. I see you smiling. But they're the good ones, okay? Those are the ones you like, the ones you want around all the time, okay? But the ones I'm talking about are those ones that are basically like trying to sell you something, okay? Bots in VTubing, like, to me, go hand in hand. There is no part of VTubing that I have not seen that doesn't have at least some kind of bot in it. Art bots, chat bots, doesn't matter, there's a bot. Like... So, man, my encounters with art bots are the weirdest thing ever. So, when I started out, right, you start out and you're like, man, you talk to a couple of them, then you figure out, man, why in the world are they being so generous and nice to us for, like, offering design work and things like that, and then you sign them to work, and then, oh, shoot! NK1D, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much for that. Welcome in. There's like good to see you. Thank you so much for the follow. There's like this art bots that are like the art bots, right? What I found out is the best way to attract them is to go like, I could really use some new art, and they will flood you like a mouse to cheese. It is not even funny. Suddenly you're getting like DMs from like all sorts of random people. Like, I could help you, I could help you, I could help you. I literally had this one that insulted my profile picture. And I'm like, thank you very much. That is a wonderful stealth tactic. Please get out of my DMs. Thank you. And never come back again. My profile picture is already terrible looking. I don't need you to remind me. Some of them will do that. And some of those have like a gall to say that, by the way. Like, they have the utter gall to do that. You know, I especially get insulted by the Twitch bots, you know, the view bots and stuff like that come in. Like, I am glad when those things get banned. Some of them have just like the most heinous thing. There's this one that's common phrasing is, man, this chat is so dead, even the ghosts aren't around. Like, bro, I already know no one wants to watch me. Don't remind me. And no, I'm not gonna buy your stinking views, okay? If I wasn't feeling confident about my view count before, I don't want to add more fake people to it. It's not gonna help. Oh, I love it when those things get banned. They're just most insulting and they just mess with your head. But the art bots though on Twitter, like those are fun to mess with. Those are fun to mess with. Like, no, seriously, like you don't know. Like okay, common thing, ban them. Always ban them. Always get rid of them, right? That's fine. Like, block them, you know, remove them from your personal stuff. That's fine. Do that. Go right ahead. But I'll tell you this, okay? Oh, and one last thing I forgot to say. For those of you who don't know, there's actually a new redeem in there called laughter. So if I say something funny, please press the button, and I'd be more than happy to get the feedback on it because streaming does not allow you to hear the laughter of your audience. But anyway. Here's the thing. My favorite thing, though, is that sometimes these art bots, they mess with you like crazy. They'll always, like, try to offer you things like that. You know the best way to make an art bot really, really, really not bother you anymore? Mess with them. And dead serious, mess with them, like, to death. It's the greatest thing ever, okay? So, one of my favorite things to do on Twitter for the longest time was actually to mess with the art bots, okay? I thought it was the greatest thing ever. It was so funny because they had automated responses, right? So what do you do when an art bot comes to you and is like, oh man, I thought your art and stuff looked really good. I wanted to let you know that I'm interested in like giving you some stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, they're like, man, you got some art or anything like that? And I'm like, well, possibly I do. Yeah, I possibly have some art and stuff like that. Bidding war? No. No, this was more like I had one bot, right? So I had one bot that basically came up to me and they're like, how are you doing today? You know, they always come in like trying to sound nonchalant and stuff like that. And I'll say some of those bots are pretty sophisticated. And one of them was like, yeah, how would you like to come in? Just wanted to ask, do you have any art and things like that? And I was like, yeah, I got art. I'm a 3D artist. And they're like, well, you need some help with the rigging. And I'm like, sure. I want you to rig it to my butt. And the best part, hi, Freddy, welcome in. I want to strap to my butt. I want you to rig it straight to my butt. And they were like, okay. Their response, sure, I can do that. I was like, great! All right, I've always wanted Stinga rigged to my butt. That sounds amazing. All right, we're going to strap it right there, and we're going to make sure everybody can see it. And they were like, where specifically are you meaning by that? And I'm like, it's the dark black hole. It's the dark, evil black hole that I use just to create these evil logs of death. Their response, okay, we can do that. I was like, now I'm starting to actually think my own answer, my own question to the bot. Like, how does one rig a VTuber model to one's own rumpus? Aren't they just a whole, like, a VTuber? And now I'm starting to wonder about the actual, like, way that works. And I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I actually was kind of hoping I could continue on with that bot, but at this point, they don't exist anymore. The other one that I actually did was even better. Okay, so they were like, hey, do you got a model? And I'm like, actually, no, I don't have a model. By the way, look at if you're an art bot, by the way, if you literally have to tell your target, by the way, do you have a model and they are a VTuber? I am sorry, you've outed yourself like right there. You have no idea, like, just how fast you just outed yourself. Hey, do you got a model? I don't know. Look at my account that you just followed. Do I look like I have a model? Probably do. You know, or something like that. But like, I can create your model. I can art and rig it for like $200. And I'm like, great, that sounds awesome. Like, well, what were you trying to be? And I said, I'm going to be a raccoon VTuber. The raccoon VTuber? I was like, yeah, I want to be a raccoon VTuber. What's a raccoon? Really? Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. A raccoon VTuber? Like, do you not know what a raccoon is? I need to ask these bot programmers, by the way, like, what in the world, and like, how are you programming these things? Because they're stupid. You know, if anybody in here that thinks that there's going to be an AI uprising really needs to remember that AI, for some reason, does not know what a raccoon is. So don't worry, we'll be fine. If the AI uprising ever comes around, we'll just stick the raccoons on them and everything will be fine. Who needs John Connor when you have raccoon? When you got Rocket Raccoon, right? Don't worry, we'll be fine. So I end up talking to this guy. I was like, okay, do you have a reference pic or anything like that? So I was like, okay, fine. Here, I'll do this. So I send this art bot a picture of a raccoon doing a sexy split. The sexy splits. Yep. I still have it saved too. I still have it saved as what I want. Yep. And I'll tell you what, they were like, oh, do you have any more reference pictures? I sent more. I kept sending this art bot, and they were like, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, I can get this rigged up for you. Oh, yeah. It's like, huh. Fascinating. It wasn't even a VTuber model, by the way. These bots have pre-scripted things. There was one time I messed with them. Hi, Gnarly. There was one time that I messed with an art bot so badly, by the way. I don't remember what I was talking about, but I was so badly that I literally brought out the user. They were not happy. They were like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I don't know. I just wanting, I just feel like I want to have a relationship, you know, something meaningful. That's what it was. Yeah, I basically tried to propose to this art bot, right? I thought I wanted a meaningful relationship and will you marry me? Bot was on board with it, by the way. Apparently the dad had to come out and basically tell the daughter, no, you're not marrying that weirdo. But she was beautiful. She was so beautiful. Always was compliant with every stupid thing that I said to it. You know, the ideal kind of person. Always going on with my stupid ideas. Denied. Oh, hardcore. Yeah, the bot creator came around and finally was like, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean, what am I doing? I want to marry your bot. Please never contact me again. Blocked me instantly. That was the first time ever that instead of me blocking an art bot, the art bot blocked me. So that's what my devotion was for the rest of my career ever since. For a while, I decided that I was going to go so bad and so hardcore with these art bots that they're going to block me. I don't know, something must have happened within the art bot community because I have never been messaged by an art bot ever since. I think I scared them too much, guys. They got way too scared up from what I was doing because, oh man, I've not been messaged by an art bot ever since. The only other one that I remember that I messed with so badly was the one that basically was like, what kind of VTuber you want to be? And I said, I want to be an airplane VTuber. So they're like, oh, well, what kind of reference do you need? I said, I don't got no references, but I bet you we can go to the airport. I basically had this entire thing where I was telling and informing and communicating and coordinating with this art bot about how we were going to break into an airport, like run past security, run straight onto the runway and grab reference pictures from the planes directly flying at us. Bro, he was on board. I was ready to go. And it was great. Oh man, it was great. I was about to like, me and this art bot were about to go to the airport. We were about to make history, you know? Y'all would have saw in the news. A local VTuber gets ran over by plane because of interest in being a plane VTuber. Bro, I would have done it too. I was even showing them tickets for like taking a trip over to a different place, right? Like I don't remember what state it was, but I was planning on like going to this thing. I was sending them pictures, right? Like when I'm messing with the art bot, I don't just go like say a few words, stuff like that. I will send pictures. I will create an elaborate story. I will make them feel like I am legitimately working with them on this. Oh, so funny. But yeah, no, it was. It's so funny to mess with art bots because like they have no concept, especially when you like send them like really dumb stuff, and that was the fun part. So I'll tell you what though, like one of the more fascinating things that I've kind of encountered too probably have to be like actual artists and things like that. Like I love the actual artists. Some of you artists are like phenomenal at what you create. Okay, like it's surprising. I'm sitting here looking at somebody and basically making the second Rembrandt, and I'm over here scribbling on my pad, going like, I can play with the little crayons too. I can play with the little crayons too. Oh man. But all right. Well, I think for the most part at this point, at about about 55-minute mark, we will almost be an hour in. So how is everybody doing tonight? Y'all doing well? Let me get some like response in the chat here. How y'all doing tonight? I want to see how y'all are doing, because like I'll tell you what, I have been very honored by seeing a lot of you beautiful people out tonight. It has been wonderful to see you all, by the way. I'll have to say, like, y'all make things fun, but I'm trying to stream and stuff like that and trying out new stuff, because I can tell you, I have been making some really, really weird content lately. But I appreciate all the support, all the time that you guys give in and stuff like that, too. What I'll probably do at about a little bit, as I'll probably take my trying to beat a game, and I'm laughing, though. That's good to hear. This is on brand. Good to hear. Thank you, DT, for the little shaking pandies. Appreciate it. Appreciate all my lurkers, watchers, and chatters over here, and K1D. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you so much also for the follow and coming on in. Welcome to the Nesties. Man, here in about a few minutes, I'll probably take a fluffy jacket. Well, thank you. But yeah, we'll probably be I'll probably be taking a small break in here and stuff like that. So, because I've been doing a lot of talking nonstop, but we'll have more material and stuff like that. This isn't the end of it, so I'm going to be enjoying heavily. Yeah, doing this stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have like a good
water.
BRB like thing, but what I'll probably do is probably think of something. Thank you for the hydrate and stretch. I will be doing that here very quickly. So I'll actually do this. Oh my goodness, I'm messing everything up. Here, I'll do this real quick here. So I'll probably do is I'll just do this in here. You know what? I think I'll be doing that next. Okay, so for the time being, since we're at the kind of this mark, I'm going to take a small break, and I will be right back for everybody. Dragon, Digi, or Luxroid, if either of you could please pin something on saying I will be right back in about roughly 5 minutes, please do so, because that is about the amount of time I'm going to recuperate, maybe get some snacks, maybe get myself a nice big glass of water to drink, stuff like that, because my throat's pretty dry. So, all right, I will be right back. All right, hi everybody. Welcome back. I'm returned. Got myself something to drink. Got myself all nice and tick. All right, you know what? You're having way too much fun with that. I'm gonna actually just kind of start back up on a few things, stuff with that. I kind of want to roll it back to design development, right? Okay. So, when I was coming up with our design and stuff like that, one of the things that I wasn't really thinking about when you create a character, right, is like, will this be normal redeem? I have no idea. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe I'll make it that way. I don't know. Well, so one of the things I've figured out about creating your character, stuff like that, is like what I've noticed is that most of us spend a lot of time on the design. Okay, like a ton on the design, right? Okay, so you spend all this time, you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make. I did not know there was a mic down here. I'm gonna make this kind of character, this kind of design, this kind of character, this kind of design. It's gonna look really good. It's gonna look really super, super cool. They're gonna look super hot, super sexy, super amazing, all that fun stuff, things like that. And then it comes down when you find out about most VTubers. You have lore. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just making a VTuber that looked funny and kind of cool. I didn't realize I had to tell a story about them. Lore, huh? I didn't even have my lore developed for the half of the most part when I was even making my VTuber character. I wasn't even thinking about that. Besides, who does? At least at first, who does, right? At first, you really don't think about it. I'm like, man, this VTuber... And it's really funny because it comes out on you, like, surprisingly, right? You're like going like, oh man, I got this character here. He looks really cool. I'm just going to debate him on stream. He's going to look really great. And this is part of like when you don't talk about like how we can debut and all that stuff. And suddenly someone asks, hey, yo, what's your lore? I'm like, lore? The heck is lore? I don't even know lore. Like the word just like, whew. What is lore? What do you mean? Like, where do you come from? Where do you go? My mom? I don't know. What do you mean? How was they born? How were they created? And you sit there basically on stream and you're going, I mean, and half the time, if you got a really devoted audience, they will write half of it yourself. You think anybody was like sitting there with a blank piece of paper and being like, I got this idea and this and that. No. Audience. They were stealing the ideas from their audience members that was writing it for them. Oh, it'd be really cool if your character had this kind of like design and stuff like that. What you're doing on the other end of that VTuber model, you're scrambling it down and you're going like, that's actually really good. I'm going to use that. And you change it and tweak it up a little bit and be like, this is, it looks really good. It has nothing to do with it. And they're like, oh, man, this character got this and this and this, right? And you're like, yeah, it's got this and this. It's like, man, that's a good idea. It's just kind of okay. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, sick. Okay, yeah, guys, I got a lore. Meanwhile, half your audience was doing it for you, like 100%. Or you find your friends and stuff like that, and you're like, this is going to be the greatest character in the world and stuff like that. And you have this vast, mega, open, wide lore that has all this ideas and concepts in it. How's my audience going to read this? But no, here's the thing. You're thinking like, no one's going to read this. Oh, no. I assure you, your audience members, they will. Oh, they will. They'll read it, trust me. I thought for sure at first someone was, and then I met somebody, 100%. I met somebody afterwards who basically was like, yo, you got lore? I was like, yeah, I got like a 15-page thing of lore if you want to read it. Yes. It was like they're just like dying to know. And I'm like, bro, I just made this basically in like 5 minutes and like basically halfway drunk. Why in the world are you wondering? Oh no. And they'll sit and they'll read every single thing. They become more of an expert about you than you. That's the stupidest thing is when you suddenly start writing down all this lore, getting it all ready and set to go. You write it down and you forget about half of it. Because you don't even reference it half the time, right, on stream? And then suddenly one of your fans who's like really into it, and they're like, well, what about this and this on the phone? And you're like, I don't remember. Wait, how do you know? It's like, well, you wrote it. Oh, you're right. I did, didn't I? But I don't know. Lore's fun. You could be anything from like the most silly VTuber in the world who does like all these streams that are like hilarious and stuff like that, and you could have the darkest lore on the planet. Or you could be this like super brutish, edgy character on stream and stuff like that. And then what's going to happen? Your lore is basically about sunshines and rainbows. Such the dichotomy and things like that. Like I don't know, like I've seen it far too many times where like the lore is like completely like a complete dichotomy or different than what the actual character on screen is. Because I can tell you the same goes for me. Dystopian future, multiple robots, a giant corporation rules an entire city. I have to fight them off and things like that. And what do you get on stream? That. So again, wildly different. Like Power of TF2 when he sees fair enough. That's fair. Yeah. And so like when it comes to y'all's character designs and things like that I've always come up with and always seen and stuff, like, I'm not gonna lie. I've been very fascinated by some of the designs and concepts everyone's come up with. Some of my moods obviously are like robots. Some of my other moods are like demons. You've got like literal space aliens. You've got dragon gods. You've got engineers. All these different kinds of characters and stuff like that. It's funny because I feel like every single collab is the equivalent of Avengers Endgame. Why do I say that? Because here's the thing. You have in your streaming collab, right? In your streaming collab with a VTuber, you legitimately have the cutesy little girl, the big, giant, monstrous, world-eating, destroying, evil villain, the goofy robot, and the hippopotamus. Only in VTubing will you ever see such a combination. I think the place only worse than that would probably be fanfiction.net, but we don't talk about fanfiction.net. No, we are not going to do that, even though, let's be fair here, yeah. But no, like, crazy. Every collab looks like that. I am not kidding. All everyone's clashing wild designs. Visually, not gonna lie, sometimes it's a little weird looking. Not saying it's a bad thing, okay? I'm not saying that at all. But I will admit that it's sometimes really funny to see all the clashing designs and stuff like that on these VTuber collabs. Even though y'all are probably like really close friends, it is funny. But that's like, it's like basically taking the equivalent of SpongeBob, a Power Ranger, Galactus, and some villainous some villainous anime character from like some dark anime or whatever, and smooshing them all together and say, "All right, everybody, it's time to play Lethal Company! Yay!" Oh, and then you find out later on that the goofiest one of them all was the evil, world-eating, devastating, evil-looking VTuber. That was the silliest one. The one with the interesting dark backstory was probably the cutesy anime girl. She probably was like some kind of like ended, devastated like thing here, but she's also like the most dapper of all the whole collab. Oh man. But I definitely will say setting up collabs is like sometimes the most nerve-wracking thing. I've always had this one thing where when I'm setting up a collab, you kind of try to reach out, right? And sometimes you can be the one reach out, sometimes you don't want to be the one reach out. I don't know. But I get it sometimes when you're like a little worried. You're like, man, I really like this person. You go around and like there's no like surefire method on setting up collabs, okay? There's like no surefire method. So you're basically like, all right, it's time to muster up the courage. All right, I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna get in those DMs. I'm gonna tell them, oh yeah, we're doing this collab. We're gonna set the date. We're gonna get it. We're gonna have a great collab. Everything's gonna be great. We're both gonna get followers. We're gonna get you a good time. The game's gonna be fun and stuff like that. And what do you end up doing every single time? Hi. Don't want to be like weird, but you want to like do something later? Please answer. Then that's the part where things get nerve-wracking. Oh no. Do they instantly respond? Oh, but if they instantly respond, ooh boy, maybe they're gonna say no. Are they gonna say no? It's those three little dots, or on Discord, like this person's typing. You're basically sitting there constantly. It's like one of those moments where in the back of your mind, it's the Sonic music when you're dying underwater. And you don't know. Beat us someone musters with an umbrella. You're like, and oh man, and bro, the person on the other side is probably going like, that sounds like I really like. They're probably completely chill about the whole idea, but you're sitting there on the other end, just going, I hope they don't hate me. Oh man, I hope they don't hate me. It's like worrisome the entire time. You're just freaking out, right? And then they answer. Now, yeah, obviously you could get one of two answers, right? You could get the answer of like, oh yeah, I'd totally be down for this. Or you get the other answer of like, no, I can't do it. That's when the anxiety strikes. You're like, no, I can't do it. And they're like, oh no, they hate me. No. I mean, in actuality, let's be fair here. It's probably not as bad as we're thinking, most cases. But that don't mean it's not gonna stop. So, I mean, but that's usually what happens, right? You win some, you lose some, things like that. But excuse me, but now what really comes down to it is when they say yes, okay? Then suddenly you discover a new talent when you become a VTuber. Ladies and gentlemen, I was not good at time zones at all. I could not tell you my Eastern from my Western, from my Midwestern to my Russian to my Australian to my Asian hemisphere times. Time zones were like a mystery to me. After coordinating so many collabs, I have become an expert. I could tell you when someone says EST to CST to EST to PDT, I could tell you the hours and how much distance between each one is without fail. Bro, VTubing, doing collabs teaches you that skill. Oh my goodness. Time zones are easy. Okay, to be fair, time zones can be easy, but for someone like me, that was not easy. I never worried about time zones. Who cares? I'm not communicating with someone over in Timbuktu, probably literally. Or more likely Singapore and Australia. You know? I coordinate with something like that, but no. You become a VTuber and you're suddenly like coordinating all these time zones that you're like, okay, no, this person's like 2 hours behind me, this person's 3 hours. Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, yeah, okay. So basically, for me, it's going to be like in the afternoon. For you, it's going to be in the middle of the night, about 3 o'clock in the morning. You good with that? Yeah, I'm good with that. And so yeah, you ended up collabing at like weird hours of the day or weird hours of the night, you know? Because like for you, it's like, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. For me, over in Australia, it's like they're in the future. The future, like, man, that was a mistake I made. You know, you made one with like someone from across the world. Like you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this on Thursday, bro. They're already on Friday, bro. Dude, they're already on Friday. You're sitting there, and you're like, oh yeah, it's Thursday, it's time, and then you get a call at like 2 a.m, and it's your collab partner. Like, where are you? Well, I said we were doing it on Tuesday. Yeah, well, today's Tuesday. Huh? Pardon me? Excuse me? What? And that's the day I discovered that Australia is a day ahead of me. And I never made that mistake again. Never, ever, ever again. It's got some parrot bippity boppity. Oh my goodness. Bad pro. All right, but at the same time though, my thing is that see, the thing about it is like you always wonder when you get into a collab, like there's some people that do this and some people that don't. I've learned that there are some people that actually have what they call a like a break the ice session. Okay, so what a break the ice session that I learned from what it was is that what they will do is they'll basically, before the collab date, they'll ask you to hang out with them for a little while before the collab to kind of get a gauge on like who you're doing, what you're about, what you feel, what you're doing, like things like that. I don't do that. I'm not that smart. Okay. Look, if you're going to collab with me, I'm going to go straight into the stream with you, because I will tell you what, all that discovery about all that stuff, that's content, okay? When you finally discover that I am a hyperactive, constantly talking, crazy guy, I'm going to let you learn that the hard way. Or you watch my content. Because I know some other streamers, how they also do theirs. Like, I had this one streamer that basically they will not collab with you until they have at least 3,000 points on your stream. And I can tell you, those points are dangerous. Those are quite the little commodity, aren't they? But yeah, no. The collab stuff, like, they'll, like, do different gauging of, like, who they want to be around, what they want to do, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. But no, I usually, like, go straight in. Like, I'll dive head first. Like, you ain't gonna know at all what you just experienced until you get into a Stinga collab. And once you do, you either love it or you hate it. And some people do both. But no, it's because you're always worried, like, right? You're always worried about, you really don't want that collab to be like going, because you want the collab to be like really good. Everybody's, you know, talking, everybody's interacting, everybody's having a good time. You don't want the collab to basically be, so how are you today? I'm good. Yeah? Pretty tough game we're experiencing, eh? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Desk. No one wants to... No one's anything too awkward. But at the same time, like, there's always that anxiety. I mean, some people like collabs like that. They do. And some people don't. Real Noir, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Real Noir. Welcome in. Crickets. Look, here's the thing. I know some collabs could be good like that. No, really. Like, sometimes they work for that. Like, I know some people that I found out, they do not vibe well at all with a collab where the other person is a complete and utter talkative, high energy, crazy person, because what they find out is they just can't handle that. Like, I don't know, sometimes someone like me could be a lot to handle. I'm sure that's a surprise to all of you, but it's the truth. No, they suddenly discover the hard way how much that doesn't work out, but other times, you know, it does work. Other times it works out. Because no one's gonna be like, no, not everybody's gonna mesh well, okay? Not everybody's gonna mesh well. Just because you said something weird to this other person doesn't automatically mean that they're gonna think you're oddball, okay? It's probably the mundane thing that you said that makes you think at least for me, right, for me, it was probably the dumb normal thing that I said that makes them think I'm an oddball. That's just normal. How, like, strangers and others, the collabs are like when you're in a VC with friends and stuff like that. Trust me, I'll get to that in a minute. Right? Okay? Yeah, now, the collabs usually are very interesting because not everybody is in a collab for a friend, right? Sometimes it is a business transaction, okay? We are entertainers. We are trying to grow. We are trying to, work together to do that kind of stuff. But at the same time, not everybody wants to be a friend, okay? And it's nothing against anybody else. It's just they just may not want that at the moment, which is fine. But I do sometimes see that one streamer that's kind of like, man, I was wanting to, I thought we were friends. Bro, we talked once, and we literally talked in the stream about the contour of Calliope's, I don't think we're that, that close of friends, okay? Someone came and didn't tell everybody to take their walls instead. It doesn't happen like that. But I want to say, Some collabs can be really fun because then you'll find that one person that you suddenly become like, you just click really well with them, right? Suddenly you find out that you click so with them that you just basically end up being streaming partners for them for like the entirety of your streaming career. Couldn't be me. But those are usually the collabs that turn into the good ones and the ones that happen over and over and over again. And yeah, those are the ones that get really good, right? You know, they become the most unlikely friends. The clown VTuber and the bat VTuber become the closest friends. Who would have thought in this big world? You know, I'm actually very fascinated by some of the combinations I've seen. Particularly, one of my favorite ones is a combination of a literal demon with an old grandma. That combination is not one I expected at all, but I will definitely tell you is one of the most wholesome combos I have ever seen. Not only to mention that we also have the one like I think it's like a big monarch is like it's Monarch and Sayu, right? And then of course, you know, you got Sea Dog and Iron Mouse, right? See, and the funny thing about those dynamics is that they're the ones that are like the most crazy, because you will find that the best of friends, the really close friends, are not the ones that always go, oh, you're so amazing. Oh, you're so cool to each other. Oh, no, 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 no. They are finding an excuse to grill that person to the ends of the earth. You are not allowed to speak ill of my friend, but I will speak ill of you a ton. You have no hope. I will find the thing you care most about, and I will find it. I will break it. Hi, RMX. Welcome in. It's wonderful if you're watching streaming with viewer on YouTube. I respect though. But I'll tell you what, it's like, oh shoot, I'm getting looks. So I pour the thing on that. No, it's okay. No, that's part of the fun of streaming, right? You know? It's eventually where, like, you know, the true close people then suddenly become the mods of that channel, right? And we've all done this where we'll take people that usually come often, either that we gotten to know really well or people that we respect and things like that. And we'll make them mods, right? You know, we'll make them mods. And you'll have your normal viewers that'll come and be like, oh, you know, you got good content. I can't be mean to you and things like that. And then the mods, oh, no, they're getting together and they'll be like, time to go for the gullet. It's time to go for the gullet. When did Stinga turn to Dr. Phil? There's a philosophy over here. Well, today, RMX, today is my stand-up routine. So thank you for coming in. Good to see you. Also, you, Real Nora, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. But yeah, no, your mods are basically, once you've modded somebody, it is called Ticket to Grill. That's what happens. Dead serious. No, they don't take no prisoners. No, you don't. No, you don't take any prisoners whatsoever, because those mods, oh no, the mods are conspiring against you. They are your main enemy. Also your best friend. Making me a mod. So if I could just, not that funny. Yeah, you're good. Yo, Stinga, shut up. See, I told you. See, all your mods will get together. They'll basically be like, you know what? It's like, man, I made you a mod because I trust you. I'm close to you, and you're like my best friend, right? Yeah, it's true. Now I'm gonna make you humiliate you on stream publicly to all your fans. Well, I guess that's my lot in life now, isn't it? Okay. But no, that's what they'll do. Hold on just a second. I got something stuck. I got something stuck on my foot. It's really weird. Why is it there? I don't get it. Alright, no, we're good now. Whew. Yeah, y'all didn't think I was going to do that on stream. Totally. Okay. It's like getting verbally kicked in the... But no. Yeah, because your mods are like the people that you use that are like behind the scenes. They're the ones that make things work and run when you cannot touch it at all. I could tell you this, I am so sticking relying on my mods during these VR streams. I literally have to ask each and every one of them sometimes to make the raids for me. You know why? Because you can't really type when your keyboard is over there. But Man. Okay, you have talent, okay? You got talent. You know what? I don't got it. My fingies can't do the thingies when I'm trying to, like, sitting there going, like, hello, everybody, my name's Stinga. I'm over here making a bunch of funny noises and yeah, no. But no, I love my mods to death. Every single one of them. I really like my mods. They are super amazing people and stuff like that, and I think they're pretty great. But they do turn me into grill burgers like every 5 minutes. Oh, man. But then the inside jokes on your community start, right? You start getting up there, right? Getting up there in, like, viewerships, things like that. And then that's when it comes to the point where suddenly it comes grilled bug burgers. That's when you get the inside jokes. Man, a good old inside joke in your streaming community. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, man, you know. They sting me. But the biggest thing, right, is the inside jokes on your community. Now, what gets funny is when the inside jokes are funny and everyone can laugh along. But that's not how it works, is it? No, the inside jokes usually amount to the idea of turning whatever streamer was in there into a burning crater of a martyr. Because it's never a good fun joke. No. I'm sure you all remember this beautiful little situation of Monarch, right? I mentioned the bigger VTuber because it'll have relevance here in a minute. This big VTuber and her entire community started having the inside joke of making fun of her for how she would say the word "she-go." And what did they add to the name? Why, Monarch added "she-go." Har, 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 har. And there it is in big blue teal text. That's right. Of course. Yes, exactly. The inside joke in this community is that your boy Stinga can't say the word of liquid rock very well. Okay, I get it. It's cement, okay, haha, it's cement, okay? I say cement like cement, okay? It's how I've pronounced it for years and years and years, and I'm still going to pronounce it that way. Cement, okay? Cement, not cement, okay? I can't pronounce it correctly. Oh my goodness, we have an OPUFI raid! Woo! It's the little tulip VTuber. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. My name is the Stinga. I am a robot yellow jacket VTuber, and tonight you may all enjoy the wonderful musings of my next hour and a half of Stinga's stand-up routine. Hello, Raiders, and welcome in. How are y'all doing? Speaking is what I'm hearing. Well, okay, that's fine. But thank you so much, Yuffie, guys. For the others who don't know, Yuffie is a sweet little tulip VTuber. She is super cool and a lot of fun. And actually, I will be collabing with her very soon. I'm thinking on Saturday or Friday. I don't remember. Can't think right now. But anyway, Yuffie, what were you doing today? How are you doing? And what were you up to? I would love to hear while I try to get to my next set here. But yeah, what were you up to tonight? Good to see ya. Thank you so much for the raid and bringing your community here. Oh, shoot. I got double rated. I love hanging with him playing Kingdom Hearts. Ooh, double raid. Welcome in, additional raiders. Hello, my name is the Stinga. I'm a robot yellow jacket VTuber doing stand-up. Ah, yes, the double raid. Thank you so much. What were you working on? What were you doing tonight, RMX? Wanted to hear from you and what you were doing. But yeah, see, Kingdom Hearts, that sounds amazing. Very cool. But yeah, okay. Oh, come on now. Listen, the thing about it is with streaming is y'all have done it. Y'all have created it. I don't know. I copied this off of somebody where I have to dine and dash. So I will lurk. We can wait for tomorrow. You have a wonderful evening, Yuffie. Thank you so much for bringing your community here. And I will do my best to take care of your tulips. And then RMXR, thank you so much for got to go anyways. RMX, all right, thank you so much for the raid and run. I totally understand. Please take care of yourselves as well, and please always try to take care of yourself and have a wonderful night. That's a funny thing. You do actually kind of figure out how to do that. Like, it becomes force of habit, and that's part of the dream that I had that, like, was the worst feeling in the world. I was literally trying to figure out what were they playing, and they were not responding, and I'm trying to figure it out. And then all of a sudden I'm like, who am I? I'm me. And I'm like dead serious. I'm looking at my screen. I'm seeing myself, and I'm like, who is that guy on the screen? Who is that? I don't know. I don't know who that is. And it was me. It was a Stinga. Fine. But yeah, I was very much like back to getting grilled, right? Internal stuff. It's like it's always been this one big thing, right? Where yes, I say cement instead of cement or whatever. I don't know. But I'll definitely say, like, and then of course, I apparently have the biggest book of nicknames devoted to me. Like, it is a massive, long list. I think one of these days what I'm gonna do is basically like, get on Twitter and be like, what is your Stinga nickname based on your date of birth? Based on your birth month. I guarantee I got way more than that, but still be funny. But I don't know. Like, it's funny because inside jokes create a community, and it creates like connections and things like that between each person, right? And it's always this one thing of like, you're always trying to create this like next internet community. So you're like, I remember the biggest thing that I was asked day one was like, Stinga, what are your viewers called? What's your community called, right? Because when you get followers, you got to have a community. You got to give them names, right? Not like they want to name themselves, but you know what? Especially they follow you, so they don't have any choice in the matter. Kind of not their problem anymore. You're the one making the name. So I was like, you know what? For me, each of my followers is someone that I'm going to cherish and pay attention to, because I don't like calling people my chat. I really don't. I feel like it's less personal. So I don't call everyone in my community my chat. I have said that word, but I like giving each person an individual bit of attention, right? But I will say, when I did make the name, I called them the Nesties, which is cool. I have, not gonna lie, I have heard of one particular one that was very funny. I am going to give credit to it. If we could give a shout out for Penper really quickly here. His community, if you guys want to know, is called His Problems. Genius, by the way. I'm just gonna call everyone my problems, because you don't have got a ton of them. I've got over 500 problems, and you are one of them. Congrats. Also, hi Justin, welcome in. I got 500 and you are one of them. I'm taking my problems and leaving, bro. That dude. But you do make good friends. You do make like connections in here, right? But that makes for a more fun streaming experience for sure. If I could just find that silly... Is it not here? Is it really not here? This is ridiculous. I had an entire thing ready to go, and I can't find it. Wow. All right. Well, that is great. That's fine. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold on just a moment, everybody. Well, it's a good thing you're still going, because it looks like we're experiencing just a tiny itty-bitty bit of scuff. That's not good. Hold on a second here. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Well, hello, Star Quantum. Welcome in. I have just found out something crazy. Apparently, I can't click on anything on my computer except for Streamlabs, which is, not gonna lie, kind of scary. Yeah, so anyway, we're gonna keep that rolling. Just for scuff. It's okay. It happens. Okay, it's scuff. It's scuff. It happens. We're still rolling. We're still good. We're still going, right? That's what happens to every streamer, right? We get the scuff. It kind of gets on there. Things get a little hectic and wacko. And then what happens? You keep going. Bro is Yamcha. That's funny. How you did as everyone? Well, that's cool. So I'm gonna. But yeah, we're gonna keep going on with what we got going, which is fine. I'm good. I'll be fine. Okay, so here's the thing. In every thing, I know it's called bar because every time redeems team gets hit by one, you get oh my goodness. So there's something, about streaming that's always like, really cool, For every single thing that you do, and every single thing that you want to do, you always have what people called are Oshis. And by the way, I'd like to let everyone know, I had no idea what an Oshi was until I started streaming. Like, at all. And your Oshi could literally be anybody, okay? Your Oshi could be as someone as big and as crazy as Zentreya, or as influential as Project Melody. And you know who you are. Or as influential as who knows, Sayu or something like that, right? But sometimes for those of us down here, our Oshis can range from maybe someone we admire for personal and things like that, or somebody that, I don't know, we just find inspiring, because of their art, because of their design, because of their personality, because of whatever, that's just what happens, right? The problem comes in is when you finally meet your Oshi. That gets a little crazy. You don't know if the day that you meet your Oshi that you are going to suddenly be the most calm, collected, suave person in the world. Oh yeah. Just let me just run straight up to them and be like, hey, how you doing? I appreciate your work. Oh, no. That's not how it goes. You know how it went. Oh my gosh, you're so cool. Can I collab with you? Oh, please. Oh, no. And you do avoid that like the plague, right? Right? You're wanting to communicate the most with this person. And what ends up happening? I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to make a fool of myself. Oh no, you already feel like a fanboy and you're just like, no. Oh, hi, Glitch. Welcome in, Glitch. But no, you're just sitting there, you're like, my Hoshi, they're just so cool. I got, oh, how about that? You become like a complete and utter stuttering mess. And why do you become a stuttering mess? Because you're thinking, oh, they're so cool. Oh, please, you're not the only one doing this. Thank you, Vina. Thank you. Welcome in. Can we get a shout out for Vina Yuki, please? So good to see you here. So wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for coming by. So wonderful to see you. But yeah, you have one of these where it's kind of like, I don't. Got a hair stuck on my headset. Blech. Yuck. You're like, oh man, I want to communicate with them, I want to talk to them. Then I can't say anything. And then that's what happens. Oh, and they come to your stream, that's even worse. You suddenly become a fanboy on stream, and trust me, I've done it myself. I will tell you. Okay, so one of the most dichotomous things, okay? There's one of my Oshis. I have one Oshi. Okay. So I got two Oshis I really like for their personality, style, and joke, humor, and things like that, okay? But I got one that y'all are crazy it's crazy. So I have one of my Oshis is actually a very it's like she's like a little alien VTuber with like the opposite, complete opposite energy to me, right? Like for me, coming to one of my streams, it's like, whoa, this is so crazy. We're going, right? And one of her streams are like, yay, we're doing so much fun. Ha 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 ha. Wow, look how crazy this is. Wow, this is so much fun. Okay, which is fine. Everybody's got different energies. Now, what gets crazier is when you basically decide, hey, tonight I'm going to raid my Oshi. Yeah! And you do that. You press that raid button and you go, everybody have a good time tonight. And then they go straight into your Oshi and they're like, this is a very different environment from where I just was. Huh. Suddenly I go from over the top, crazy loud to chill, peaceful, and cute. What happened? You get like this like visual whiplash where it goes from like ow. Oh yeah, and that's not even the like the half of it, right? Like it gets a little like silly too. Like, oh, you. I remember when I was streaming, right? There was one time she finally came into one of my streams, right? Came in on the YouTube side. Not gonna lie, I became the most fanboyish, bubbling little morons I had ever seen. And man, I didn't even go back and watch the VOD. I wasn't gonna sit there and watch that at all. No, I was just like, you're so cool. I'm glad you're here. Oh my goodness. I was like, oh, I'm so cringy. It's not even that bad. You're just a super fan. I guarantee the person that is like you're a super fan of thinks it's the greatest thing ever because we all want that fan. We all want that fan's like obsessed with us, who thinks we're the greatest things in sliced bread. And then once we become one of those fans, we're like, oh no, I don't want to come off as weird. Oh, and then you're second guessing everything you've said, right? Fix that. Oh no. And then like basically like, oh man, you're like, man, you're afraid of scaring them off, right? You don't want to become like overdoing. You don't want to overdo it, right? You just hope you don't scare them off. Like, oh man, I call them one of my Oshis. They probably think I'm weird. Oh man. Maybe you shouldn't overthink it so much. Just relax. I mean, they are just a streamer, just like you are, regardless of size and things like that. Because I've seen some pretty crazy people. It's funny because Oshis can come in all shapes and sizes, right? I wish for Stings to one day collide with Girl DM. The day that happens is the day I will be very, very happy. I am not kidding. Like, no kidding. Like, yeah, one of my Oshis is Girl DM. But I like it because she's snarky. And I like snarky humor. And it's funny. And it's like, that's crazy. But like, it's one of those things where it's kind of like what the streamer's dream, right? The streamer's dream, like this person you've looked up to. And funny thing is, they come to dreams. I met this one person that their Oshi is literally smaller than them. Do not underestimate the power of a fan, okay? When your Oshi can actually be bigger than you. It does not matter. If you ever needed a confidence boost, just remember that this person is basically a VTuber that's like 2.6k, if not more followers, and their Oshi is like a 250 follower content creator. Like, it don't matter how big or small you are going to be somebody's Oshi at some point. Like, everybody's got a type. You just might be somebody's. Let's see, my Oshis are flesh tuber. I mean, seriously, they all come in different shapes and sizes. So, like, I don't know. Just never give up, okay? Just remember that one day, like, just keep thinking to yourself, man, even though I feel like I'm a shrimp and a fish flailing without any kind of idea of what I'm doing. I might be someone's Oshi one day. Ah, yeah. Because someone might actually think that you're like super cool. And feeling super cool is like one of the greatest feelings in the world, right? It's fun. It's so fun. Oh my goodness. If anyone here tell me that I was their Oshi, I'd probably cry. I mean, you probably are. But the reality is there's a possibility you may never know. Because someone might call you their Oshi, and they will be way too shy to tell you. You know? It's like so crazy. Someone be like, oh man, they're my Oshi. I don't want to look like a weirdo. I don't want to look like a super fan. And what do? They will not tell you. By the way, word of advice, if you actually have someone who calls you their, if like you actually call someone your Oshi and stuff like that and you have not told them yet, tell them. I guarantee they will love it. And if not, well, you know what? You know where I stream. You can come over and know where I stream. And, you know, some of us have the privilege of basically being able to have like 10,000 different things happen to us, right? You know? Streaming is like this random roll of the dice every single day. Like, there's one day where it was really funny. Is you got these people, these creators, right? Especially when you're growing, you know, these creators are like, hello, my name is this guy, and I have 750,000 subscribers or followers on Twitch, and I can show you how to grow and make yourself big and relevant to everybody else, you know, and stuff like that. And then you see the big creators, you ask them like, hey, how did you get big? And the response is, I screamed on YouTube once, and it blew up. Huh. So what you're saying is the way to success is just basically act like a complete and utter, like, crazy person, and I should get viewers, right? Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Oh no, natural growth? Pfft, are you kidding me? People don't naturally, well, okay, people can naturally grow and get bigger if they want, you know, they can work hard, put the effort in, stuff like that. But at the same time, especially that one day, that one clip, that one thing you said that was so regrettable, suddenly you post that thing on YouTube and suddenly you are like the next sensation. And then your fame comes so quickly, you're just like, ah, what happened? Why am I here? Everything's so weird. Suddenly everybody's calling me cool. I can't take this kind of positive reinforcement. I'm not used to it. Well, at least maybe. I don't know. Fame can be a hard thing to manage. Not saying it's not for everybody or that it can't be, but man, I'll tell you what, there are some days where you're just kind of like, someone comes up to you and they're like, oh, you're the greatest thing ever. You're so amazing. Man, you get so many people telling you that, and you're like, where's my counselor? I have no idea as to what this feeling is. Oh my goodness. It's like these feelings wheeling up in my gut. I don't like it. I don't like it. It feels weird. All this positive reinforcement. My abusive father never prepared me for this. But no, crazy stuff. I'm not really one to usually leave off with certain things or whatever, but I'll definitely say that I have definitely been enjoying streaming a lot. Has been a lot of fun. I will definitely say it has its ups and downs. When you're basically feeling like you want to eat. How many here have forgotten to eat before streaming, huh? Yeah? You have those moments where you're basically running around and you're doing your stream and enjoying yourself heavily. You're really getting into it and stuff like that, and then you get done streaming and suddenly your bowels, your stomach, your entirety of your existence starts rolling back, and reality slaps you in the face and says, you not only have to go to the bathroom, you now have to go get yourself some food, get yourself a snack. This is why I stinking, like, it all comes all of a sudden. And it doesn't come just like willy-nilly, just really cute, just like, oh, gradually. Oh no, that stuff hits you like a truck. It's like, you are hungry, now you need food, now you need to go to the bathroom, now you look like a pig, now you need to clean yourself up, and you've been sitting for 2 straight hours. Get yourself back to a normal society mode. Like, oh, man, okay, buddy, I'm sorry, buddy. I was like, oh, no. And that's one of those things that I'm like, man, talking about food when you haven't eaten during stream is the worst in the world. You start finding out all these gourmet meals, these great pizza, these burgers, these really good, all this good food. You know, you talk about the stuff you like, and all this things that are like delicious and stuff like that, right? And then suddenly you're like, man, I am so hungry. And you're like, why am I so hungry? And then you find out you haven't eaten, and then suddenly when you close the stream, everything's been turned off. You go, well, now I want pizza. I have done that before. Oh my goodness. I've done that before. There was one stream where basically everybody started talking about pizza. I went out to go get a pizza. There was one stream where everybody's talking about ramen. I made myself a whole bunch of ramen. There was a stream that everybody started talking about, actually recently, everybody started talking about ice cream. I wanted to get ice cream, so I went out and grabbed ice cream. There was this other stream where everybody's talking about getting a salad. They're getting some kind of food. I guarantee you my entirety of my diet has been dictated nothing but by the chat. Not even joking. Entirety of my food, and it's just constantly because your boy Stinga over here most of the time is just eating freaking bean soup all the time. Bean soup, and it's constant. But yeah, no, and then you're dictated like, oh man, how many times that when you started, running some success, you get some success, you get a little bit of money and things like that start rolling in. Now you're saving your money, right? You're saving your money and stuff like that. And now you got a bunch of VTubers that are basically like talking about, oh man, never in my life did I ever think that I was going to spend the kind of money I have on VTubing. When I started finding out how much I spent, I was like, is this a hobby or a lifestyle? Oh my goodness. I better be able to write that off of my taxes. That's a lot of money. Bro, I didn't have a Switch until I became a VTuber. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Silly. But that's what you do, right? You roll with the punches, you run with it, you keep going, you keep trying to get better and better and better and better. You always develop your stream, right? And eventually you start finding out that those $0 that you originally started out with, you suddenly are spending $2,000, $3,000 a year just on trying to make your stream look better, right? I know we've all felt this before, by the way, and it's not that bad feeling to have. You always want to improve, so what do? You go to others and you find out what they're doing and all the stuff that they've got, right? And oh man, he's got a good model. Time for me to update. Then you're looking over here at this other person like, man, their setup is just phenomenal. Oh man, that's great. Then you start figuring out how broke you are, right? Somebody's sitting over here with like a massive like rig of a computer. And you're like, how do you afford that? How? I could barely afford a shoestring and 3 pennies. What are you talking about? Buying a brand new setup computer. Bro, I'm doing this on a budget. Don't make me go in there and just try to figure out what you're doing. That's crazy. Oh. And then what really gets lucky is, by the way, the real heroes of VTubing are the artists, designers, and content creators that literally will provide for their favorite content creators, okay? Like, not even joking. You are the ones that are the real heroes. Like, you have no idea. Oh man, it was just a favor to rig your model. Oh, no. You have turned that man's life around. They are now in your debt and will forever regard you as the hero of their channel. Bro, you become a martyr. And I will tell you what, that stuff becomes so crazy. Whoever you made that for feels indebted to you. They didn't even have to spend a penny for that stuff. But, man. And I'll tell you what though. Like, it was really funny because like when I first started, I studied it on them, right? And I was told like, oh man, there's like so much stuff in VTubers, so much drama on Twitter. There's all this stuff, like on a constant basis, right? On a constant basis. bro, half the time all I'm seeing is like scrolling through Twitter, and I'm like, yep, we are all cringe. Yep, yep, we're all cringe. Yep, And even better, in my time zone, do not scroll on Twitter after 9 p.m. I don't know what it is, but without fail, I know y'all are working really hard, and I respect the hustle and things like that. But man, I don't know why, but for some particular reason, the VTubers start coming out. Suddenly, my Twitter is like, yep, I'm turning Twitter off for the night. Nope, not touching that, but a 10-foot pole. Because I might have prying eyes behind me that might be saying something when I'm scrolling it. And they're like, why are you scrolling? And I'm like, bro, this is on my Twitter feed, okay? These are the people I associate with. They're just doing their best, okay? I'm not trying to be weird. Even though I am. Okay, even though I am. So, I'll tell you what, though. VTubing's been a lot of fun. It's very worth it, by the way. A lot worth it. I think the biggest thing you can learn from being a VTuber is how to grow as not only as a person, but as a content creator, but also as a person, right? There's going to be a lot of things you'll encounter and a lot of things that you're going to have to deal with on a daily basis. And here's the thing, as much as it is a hobby, it also is so much of a job, right? You want to make yourself successful. You want to make yourself, do well. But the real heroes of VTubing are the viewers and those who watch them. Because without them, they have no foundation. Those of you who are fans, those of you who watch, those of you who contribute, who lurk, who chat and things like that, you are the real foundation of every successful streamer, and they are indebted to you for each and everything that they do. Same goes for me, okay? I would not be standing here being a joking dork in front of a curtain in a VR chat world if it wasn't for everyone here that's sitting here willing to sit and listen to me gab about silly things and say silly things, right? So from the bottom of my heart, as I wrap this tonight up, I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming tonight and joining me. So thank you so much. With that, that will be the end of my set. I have hit the 2-hour mark, and we are getting to the point where I'm going to wind down. This is not going to be the last time I do this. Please let me know if this was good and successful, and this might not be the last time I do this. I'm hoping to do more, honestly, because I think this is a lot of fun. I've always wanted to be a stand-up comedian. This has been probably a dream of mine to actually kind of do this. This is part of the reason why the laugh track is here. And you know what? On popular demand, I think we will stick it around, So, for the time being, pardon my mood. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So I hope everyone has a wonderful night, a wonderful evening, and if my computer will allow me to, and it is not, well then, that's just great. Alrighty then, well, I'm gonna have to restart my computer right after this. So, my mods, if you guys have somebody that you would like to raid out to, please do so, because I can't do it myself. At least not tonight. So yeah, if someone you guys think is streaming tonight, we'll just raid out to them and do the Stinga raid, because my computer is gonna have to be reset right after stream. Black Diamond sounds... Oh, where's Axel Wolf? It's been a while since I've raided Black Diamond, so we're going to actually do Zyman tonight. So let's raid Black Diamond tonight, guys, if you don't know who Black Diamond is. And he is a cool facecam streamer. He is my Dia buddy, my Dia bestie. Super cool dude, super cool guy. And I would definitely say he is a delight to be with. Yeah. So, with all that being said, thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on my wonderful first time doing this with literally no audience. But at the same time, you guys are all my audience. So, everyone, have a wonderful night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.